to be. It is a true honor and a privilege to participate in this wonderful celebration of books and reading. A warm welcome to all the parents. For those who don't know me, I'm one of the school learning specialists, and I work with 4th to 8th grade. Pauline asked me to speak about my love of books. I will out her by telling you that she only asked me yesterday at about 3 o'clock. But luckily, I have so much to say about books, it was easy to put together a few words on the subject. Reading is, and always has been, my favorite hobby. I read constantly and widely. My nightstand at any given point is piled with classic fiction, mysteries, recent fiction, and nonfiction on topics from World War II spies to biographies of Hollywood movie stars. I usually have multiple books going at once. An audiobook that I listen to while driving or washing dishes, the latest issue of The New Yorker to look at over breakfast, an ebook to read on my phone while I'm waiting in line at the supermarket, and a novel that I curl up with before bed. And that's not even counting the bedtime reading that I'm doing with my 5-year-old, or the audiobooks that we listen to in the car as a family, or the books that my older kids urge me to read because they've enjoyed them so much. It's probably no surprise that my husband has been known to call me Eyeballs Whitney, or that I spent the first 12 years of my professional career as a high school English teacher. But all of this grown-up reading is merely an echo of the way I read as a child. My favorite childhood memories, the ones that don't involve butterscotch sundaes and chocolate Easter bunnies, are all about the books I read and the worlds I entered into through those books. I was the kind of child who read and reread and reread my favorite books so that the characters became almost as familiar to me as the kids at school, and in many cases, more memorable. I especially love books about magic and magical lands, such as the Narnia books, or Edward Eger's Half Magic, and books about plucky orphans like The Secret Garden or Ballet Shoes. When I was reading a really good book, I would long to enter into it, to pass through the back of the wardrobe like the children do in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Finishing the book and realizing that it was only a book always left me a little bit sad until I picked up the next book and found a new group of characters to spend time with for a while. I know that many of you may not identify as such a crazy reader like me, but I also know that one of the great joys of life is finding books that will take you out of your ordinary life for a while and then deposit you back in that ordinary life, but with a whole new perspective on it and a bunch of memories. Sure, some of those experiences may have happened directly to the characters in the book, but when you read them, they become part of your experience too. I know too that every adult in this room could think of some of the books that we read when we were your age and that we still carry with us in some way. Congratulations to all of you for working so hard on this project. I am so glad that you have had the chance to recognize a book that has been meaningful to you. It will stay with you longer than you can even imagine. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amrin. Alalia. Today I would like to present you the Friendamalia Award. The criteria terms for the award are: it has to be kid-friendly, adventurous, and it has to contain one or more animals in it. When I think about this award, I think of the book called The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo, because it meets the criteria terms. This book is about a toy rabbit who goes on an adventure to find a family. It was touching, and I loved all the little details that bring the story together. Now I would like to read you a passage from the book that made me laugh. "What is it, Lucy?" said a man. He bent and picked up Edward. He held him firmly around the middle. "Lucy," said the man again, "I know how much you enjoy rabbit pie." I recommend this book for kids under the age of 12.
Hello, my name is Neomie, and today I'll be presenting the Adventure Award. To get this award, a book must have intriguing illustrations, the main character must have a mission to accomplish, and the plot must involve an exciting journey. The winner of my award is The Spiderwick Chronicles: The Seeing Stone by Tony DeTerlizzi and Holly Black. It's the second one in the series. Although I'm awarding this book the Adventure Award, it has elements of fantasy and mystery in it. The book's about 3 siblings, one of which disappears. It's up to the other 2 to find out what happened. Along the way, they meet some odd characters in a forest nearby. One reason the book deserves this award is because the illustrations give the reader an idea of what the setting and imaginary characters could look like. The main characters deal with some challenging situations on their search for their brother. I'm going to read you a passage from the book. There were 5 of them, all with faces like frogs and eyes that were dead white with no pupil at all. Hairless cat-like ears stuck up from their heads, and their teeth were pieces of shattered glass and small jagged rocks. I think the plot was very well thought out and full of adventure. The amount of cliffhangers the author used made me want to keep on reading. At this moment, I'm on the 4th book in the series. Thank you. Hi, my name is Clara, and my award is the Nature Award. The book that won this award is Journey to the River Sea by Ava I. Boston. The criteria are, it has to be an adventure book, it has to empower girls, and the adventures have to take place mostly in nature. The book takes place in the Amazon. Maya is an orphan who goes to live with her distant relatives who turn out to be very cruel. She has many adventures in Brazil. It empowers girls because the main character, Maya, has to deal with her relatives while they treat her like she is their servant. She is very brave and goes out in the Amazon by herself at night. Here is an excerpt from the book. Miss Minton had only taken a few minutes to realize why the Carters wanted Maya. Mrs. Carter had not been able to hide her relief and greed as Miss Minton counted on the notes the lawyer trusted her with. As for Beatrice and Gwendolyn, they had been told that a distant cousin was coming to stay with them and must be welcomed, but the twins had never welcomed anyone in their lives. I would highly recommend this book. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Julien. My award is Julien's African Medal. I use the symbol of a fist because I think that this really helps you understand that you have to stand up for yourself. I proudly grant this award to the book Nelson Mandela, the Authorized Comic Book by Armando Wazikoma. I think this book deserves my award because it meets the following criteria. 1, illustrated. 2, good for all ages. 3, understandable. 4, takes place mostly in Africa. And 5, biographical. Now I read you a passage of the book to show you how the author writes. This is the drill hall of Johannesburg, the place where treason trialists appeared in court. It was destroyed by 2 fires in 2001 and 2002. It is now renovated and 156 plaques were erected in memory of the trialists. I think this book has very detailed illustrations and very descriptive writing. This is why I chose this book to receive my award. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dominik. I am honored to be here today to award the Out of This World Award to a book I personally love and thought meets all the following criteria. First, it has to be realistic fiction. Second, it has to be about a kid who overcomes a big obstacle in his or her life. And last, the author has to be born in the United States of America. The book I chose is Out of My Mind. The author is Sharon Mills Draper, who was born in the United States of America. Out of My Mind is a realistic fiction book because it's made up but could have happened in real life. Let me tell you about it. It's about a girl named Melody, aged 11. She has cerebral palsy, so it's impossible for her to communicate with others. This is why her school has a classroom for kids with special needs like her. In class, they learn simple things like the ABCs, but Melody has a photographic memory, so she remembers everything she sees. So she's very frustrated, but she has no way of telling the teacher. But one day, on a school computer, she finds something that'll help her overcome her communication problem. Now I will read you a passage from the book. I was so excited when Mom first enrolled me here. I thought I'd learn new things every day, but mostly it was simply something to do that took up time and got me out of the house. In 2nd and 3rd grades, I probably learned more from the sci-fi or Discovery channels than I ever learned at school. My teachers were nice, most of the time, but they would have needed x-ray vision like Superman to see what was inside my head. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Fifi and I'm here to present to you today
The Unraveling Adventure Award. To receive this award, the book must meet the following criteria. It must be in a series, it must have mythical animals, it must be full of adventure, and it must be for children ages 7 to 13. The winner of my award today is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. This is the third book in a series of 7 of the Chronicles of Narnia. This book is about two siblings, Lucy and Edmund, who were sent to the land of Narnia for their third time. But this time, their cousin Eustace was caught up in the magic and sent along with them. Eustace was a bratty kid who thought he could bully but was just a wimp. They were sent to help their friend King Caspian find the 7 lords and their swords. This book has lots of mythical animals and adventure. For example, one of their characters was transformed into a dragon. Here's the passage. They're not Eustace by any chance. Eustace nodded his terrible dragon head and thumped his tail in the sea, and everyone skipped back. I like this book because it has lots of little adventures that bring the whole story together, and because some characters have funny names like Ribachie, the very brave sword-fighting mouse. I would recommend this book for children and adults who like fantasy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Clara. I am presenting the Super Medal Award. To win this award, your book must meet the following criteria. First, it needs to include sports. It must have adventure. And last but not least, it may deal with friendship. The Super Award goes to the book Little Girl by Victoria Jameson. This book talks about a girl named Astrid who has a super idea for signing herself and her best friend to a roller camp. But when she figures out that her friend cannot go, she is depressed and sad. Now I am going to read a passage of the book. Then Mom uttered the words that never failed to strike fear and read into my heart. At first, I couldn't tell what was going on, just a bunch of falling, hitting, and racing. But don't run from your fear. Embrace it, because believe me, the best things in life are worth fighting for. I recommend this book for ages 10 to 14, and I really like this book. Good morning, my name is Anna Dixon, and I am here to present the Harriet Tubman Award for Best Children's Traveling Mystery. This award represents the symbol used during the Underground Railroad for slaves to go the direction of the North Star, which led the slaves to freedom. Harriet Tubman traveled back and forth to the free land of Canada to help the slaves. The book Night of the New Magician by Mary Pope Osborne deserves this award because it meets my 4 criteria, and it's a great story forever to be remembered. My 4 criteria are: the book must be a children's book, must have a genre of mystery, must be part of a series, and at last the characters must travel from one country to another. In this book, Jack and Annie are the main characters. This book is about Jack and Annie who travel to Paris from Fog Creek Woods, United States. They get into lots of trouble trying to solve the mystery of who stole an object from the Louvre. This children's book is number 35 of the series Magic Tree House. Now I shall commence your Magic Tree House journey. Jack and Annie came to the Magic Tree House. They climbed up the rope ladder and looked one last time out the window. The Eiffel Tower seemed to stand watch over Paris, its spotlights sweeping over the city. I really recommend this book. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sara, and today I will be presenting to you the Dreamers Book Award. To win, the book must be fantasy, have at least one made-up creature, and have suspense. And the winner is The Girl Who Could Not Dream by Sarah Beth Durst. This book is about a girl whose parents own a dream shop. Monster dreams, roller coaster dreams, picnic dreams, and many more. But no matter how hard she tries, Sophie can't get a dream on her own. Not even a blurry, unclear one. But she has other powers. She has a lot of adventures throughout the book, one of them being trying to rescue her parents who were kidnapped. I chose to award this book because it meets the criteria perfectly. It is fantasy, it has plenty of made-up, unique creatures, one of them being Sophie's pet monster called Monster. Also, it has a lot of suspense. Here's a passage from the book. Can I keep him, please? Sophie shifted so she could see the slumbering dream monster. If you ignored all the tentacles and sharp teeth and the sheer size of him, he could almost pass for a house cat. I highly recommend this book. Thank you.
My name is Alex Stewart and I'm here to present the Scare Word. To the book Miss Pilgrim of Peculiar Children, a graphic novel by Renton Riggs. The criteria for my award is one that has to be written in the U.S., two has to be a genre of word, three has to be a graphic novel. The book meets the criteria because Renton Riggs written the book in the U.S., and the book is a thriller in the horror genre. The author also decided to make a graphic novel based on the book. I like this book because it's original and a page turner. It's about a boy who goes through terrible tragedy when his grandpa died and left him with instructions to go to an island to find peculiar children and keep them safe. Here are a few lines of conclusions of the book. The photos. I knew them so well. Looking at them now, it struck me how blatant the fakery was. I remember how betrayed I felt the day I realized his stories weren't true. None of the truth seemed obvious. The last words had been just another sleight of hand, and his last act was to infect me with his nightmares and paranoid delusions. I recommend this book to 4th and 5th graders. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Monty, and I'm proud to present to you the Go Back Toddler Award. This year's award goes to Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson. The Go Back Toddler Award was created in May of 2017 in honor of all my toddler friends. To win this award, the author must qualify for these following criteria. The author must be born in the U.S., the book must be written for toddlers, and the book must be illustrated, and there must contain no bad language. One night on a winter, this is the main plot of the story. One night on a winter storm in a big warm land, a big bear is sleeping when a mouse, a hare, a gopher, a badger, a mole, a raven, a wren, and an owl are having a party in his lair. This is a small passage of the book. In a cave in the woods, a slumbering bear sleeps to the party in his very own lair. Hare strokes the fire, mouse seasons the stew, and a small pepper flakes makes the bear go. I chose this book for my award because it qualifies for the criteria. How it's illustrated, it contains no bad language, and Karma Wilson was born in the U.S. Toddlers would like this book because it's very repetitive and has a happy ending.
Hello, my name is Daniel Grassman. I would like to present you Daniel's Dramatic Dog and Dolphin Award. As your criteria are, it must have a dog or a dolphin in the story. It must be full of adventure, but also somewhat predictable. It has to be sad but hopeful. My criteria is based on a concept of Chinese philosophy called yin and yang. Yin and yang describe how seeing the opposite forces connect in the natural world, for example, light and dark, fire and water. The book I chose to give this award to is Island of Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. In my award, black equals water, I placed the dolphin on that side. White equals land, I placed the dog on that side. This book meets all my criteria. The book is about a Native American girl called Piranha who is left behind on an island when her people leave for the mainland. She survives on her own for 18 years, living off the land for food and shelter. There is sadness in the story, but hope in the life she builds, making friends with otters, birds, and dogs, especially Lampu. The book has lots of adventure, but is also somewhat predictable in the way she lives her life day to day. The passage I love most is, if Olaf and my father had come back and laughed still, I would have felt the same way, for animals and birds are like people too. So they do not talk the same or do the same things. Without them, the earth would be an unhappy place. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Maelle. And I'm presenting the Wild Book Award. The criteria for this award are 1. Has to be a chapter book. 2. Has to have a fable in the book. 3. Has to be adventurous. And 4. Has to include animals. The Wild Book Award goes to Watership Down by Richard Adams. This book is about a group of rabbits who leave home because one of the rabbits has a prediction that something bad is going to happen. They go on an adventure to find a new home. They have to be careful of predators and protective, aggressive rabbits. I will read a passage. Rabbits are like human beings in many ways. One of these is certainly their staunch ability to withstand disaster and to let the stream of their life carry them along past reaches of terror and loss. They have a certain quality which it would not be accurate to describe as callousness or indifference. It is rather a blessedly circumscribed imagination and an intuitive feeling that life is now. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rowan Higgins, and I'd like to present the Higgins Historical Background Award to Dead End in Norvell by Jack Gantos. To win this award, the book must meet the following criteria. It must be suitable for children ages 9 to 11. It should be an adventure story with suspense. There should also be elements of fantasy. The story starts when one day Jack Gantos accidentally shoots off his father's loaded rifle. This stunt gets him grounded for life. The story takes place in the 1960s in Norvell, Pennsylvania, in the shadow of the Cold War. Here's a taste of the story. Because the sun had gone down, the black and white preview for tonight's movie was still rolling. On the screen, the massive German World War II battleship was being launched. Then the picture changed to a worried-looking British captain in a war room of the Atlantic Ocean with little toy-sized ships. Dead End in Norvell by Jack Gantos deserves my award, whose the entire story was set against the Cuban Missile Crisis and told in a very suspenseful way. Jack Gantos has to save the old ladies of Norvell from Mr. Spiz, the villain of the story, who rides an adult-sized tricycle, and has to figure out what the Hells Angels are plotting. This book was a real page-turner. It was thrilling. I could not let go of it. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Henry. Today I'm going to present the Valor Award. The Valor Award is going to be awarded to Cowardly Clyde. It must be educated historically from medieval times. It must include at least one monster or beast. It must include at least one image per page. It must use amusing dialogue, and last but not least, it must have one character who has to overcome a great fear. The book I am awarding my award to is Cowardly Clyde by Bill P. This story takes place in medieval times. It is about a horse that is very fearful and a very brave knight. They both hear that there is a gigantic owl-eyed ogre who is terrifying farmers. Sir Galifant, the knight who wants to slaughter the ogre, He tries to convince Clyde to go there, but Clyde the horse does not, as he is very scared. I will now read you a passage of the book. I got a peek of the monster last night. He's a whopper of a thing. It's shining, owl-eyed, ox-footed, ogre, nearly as big as a barn. A night-prowling beast who never shows himself in broad daylight. Never. They say he hides out back in the woods to the north of here, but anyone who dared go in after him would be a dim-witted noodlehead. And I'm a dim-witted noodlehead, laughed Sir Alma. I think Cowardly Clyde deserves this award because it is funny words and insults. In my opinion, it educates children by showing them how people lived during medieval times. Regarding the 3 other criteria, this book has great imagery, a main character who overcomes his greatest fear, and there is a monster in the story. I love this book, and thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Josephine I. I'm going to present the Discovery Award to The Name of This Book is Secret by Pseudonymous Law. The criteria for my award is that there needs to be a secret in the book, it needs to be in a series, and it has to be child appropriate. This is the first book in the series. The story is about 2 kids, one who thinks he has a lot of bad allergies, and the other who is a survivalist. They go on a mission to find a mysterious magician. The reason why I chose this book is because it is one of my favorites and it fit the criteria well. Here's a little passage from the book. Max Ernest pointed to a small sign above the speaker. It said, "What's the magic word?" "Abracadabra," said Cass. Nothing happened. "Open sesame," said Max Ernest. Nothing happened. "Hocus pocus," said Cass. Nothing happened. "Simon says go down," said Max Ernest. Nothing happened. "Wait, I've got it," said Cass. "I know the magic word." She looked directly at the speaker and very carefully pronounced the word, "Please." I would recommend this book for anyone who is willing to read it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Margot Johnson, and today we'll present the John Soup Award. To win the John Soup Award, a book must match with the following criteria. This book must have something to do with soup. This book has to be illustrated. This book must include animals. The John Soup Award has been awarded to Chicken Soup with Rice for meeting the criteria very well. Chicken Soup with Rice is about a little boy who finds ways to eat chicken soup with rice every month of the year. While he does it, he goes on adventures like riding on a crocodile, paddling chicken soup with rice. In this book, I noticed the poetic rhyming. To show you an example, I'll read you a passage of the book. In August it will be so hot it will become a cooking pot, cooking chicken soup. Of course, why not? Cooking once, cooking twice, cooking chicken soup with rice. I really like this book because you can learn from it, and it is adventurous and interesting. I love this book and hope you will read it. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Simon Langford and I am presenting the Gaming Award. The book that deserves this award is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Last Straw by Jeff Kinley. I think this book deserves the award because it matches 3 criteria. 1, it has to have at least 3 references to electronic devices. 2, the main character has to be a boy. What? 3, it has to be illustrated. This book is about a boy named Greg Heffley, 12 years old, who isn't exactly a sports fanatic. After he realizes his dad is going to sign him up for Spain Union Military Academy, he has to shape up or get shipped out. Here's a passage from the book. After that night, Dad was in the best mood that I've seen him in for a long time. I hope that doesn't mean what I think. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hampton,
The award I am presenting today is the Fluffy Award. To win this award, the book must meet the following criteria. It must be a graphic novel, must be at least 100 pages long, it must contain one difficult situation or problem, it must have at least one solution, and it must be written in the last 8 years. The book I have chosen to win this award is Drama by Raina Telgemeier. Drama is a play and story about 7 and 8 graders who put on a play called Moon Over Mississippi. The play is a love story, and in it the stubborn father of the main female character forbids her from marrying her love. The play takes place in a time frame of 14 weeks, and it also is about a girl named Kelly, set designer for school plays. Here is a passage from a rehearsal when she is testing a cannon pop, and that she has made in the cannon fails. SFX 2, take 2, actors clear. Please, 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 yank. Callie, there's still a week I can do this. I love this book. I've read it 8 times. Favorite book. It's fun, it's happy, it's sad, has drama, has a lot of humor, fun, and funny failures, and great comic timing. I recommend this book for children 10 and up. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vivienne. I would like to present to you the Magic Cake Award. The book winning this award today is A Tangled Knots by Lizzie Graff. Here are the 3 criteria. First, it is child appropriate. Second, it has at least one recipe. And third, has some sort of magic. A Tangled Knots is a book about an 11-year-old girl named Katie. She is an orphan. Her talent is baking cakes. In her world, everyone has a talent. But she does not know that she has a journey from the day she was born. Here are some lines from the book. Oh, I was just trying to see what kind of cake you are, Katie replied, offering an embarrassed little grin before taking a small nibble of cinnamon cake herself. Tobi raised an eyebrow. What kind of cake I am? You're perfect cake, she said, by way of explanation. Usually I can tell as soon as I meet someone, like Amy's mom. There's a pineapple upside-down cake, and her dad is a sour cream coffee cake with crumbly blueberry center. I would like to recommend this book for those who like baking and eating cakes because there are over 5 cake recipes. So please read this book to discover how it follows the rules from the Magic Board. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mathieu. I'm going to present to you Rendez-moi mes poux by Ted. The winner of the award has to be funny, easy to read for kids, and written in French. This story is about Mathieu, a boy living alone with his mother and father. His only friends are lice, until his mother finds out and tries to get rid of them. She tries in all ways, but is not successful. Rendez-moi mes poux deserves winning the awards because it's the funniest book in French I have ever read. It is perfect for children, not too long with funny illustrations. There is a little passage of the book. Mais pour les poux, le jour le plus attendu de la semaine était le mercredi, jour de piscine. Mathieu les emmenait tous dans la salle d'eau où il se faisait couler un bon mousson. Puis il fixait dans ses cheveux une dizaine d'allumettes. Ces allumettes servaient de tremplin et la baignoire devenait une piscine à poux catégorique olympique.
Hello, my name is Ellie, or Eli, and I'm going to present to you my award for the book, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963, by Christopher Paul Curtis. The name of my award is called the Coming of Age Award. The criteria for my award was that the book had to be humorous, dramatic, and teaches you a life lesson. This book is about a struggling family in 1963 from Flint, Michigan, that decides to travel to Birmingham, Alabama in search of a better life. This family faces difficult times along the way, including witnessing the bombing of their grandmother's church, which is a tragic event that happened in real life. The struggles, hard times, and discrimination that the family goes through could almost tear them apart, but instead brings them closer together. Here's a passage from the book that gives an example. Grandma Sam pulled everybody together. Her little arms could only get around one person at a time. But as the weird Watson stood there with some of us laughing, some of us crying, and some of us looking cool, it felt like we were all wrapped up in a big ball. The book deserves this award because the main characters go through major changes in their lives that help them grow as people, especially Kenny, the main character. There are also many dramatic and sad events that happen in the book, and the family at times is able to deal with those in a funny or humorous way. Just like in life, we learn from the challenges we face, and that's how we come of age. And that is why this book deserves this award. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Felice, and I am presenting to you today the Adventure Time Award, and I am giving the Adventure Time Award to the book Matchstick Castle by Kier Graff. My criteria of the award is it has to be a quick read, it has to be, there has to be 3 or more main characters, including both boys and girls, and it has to make you feel adventurous. This book is about a boy named Brian that has to spend his whole summer with his Uncle Gary and his cousin Nora in Boring, Illinois. I know the town has a weird name, but that's what it's called in the book. Uncle Gary invented an app called Summer's Cool, which is not actually cool at all, because cool rhymes with school. It's summer school on a computer. The fun begins when Brian and Nora have a little idea to sneak out of the house, going to the Forbidden Forest, telling Nora's parents that they're going to the library. But just in case, they go to the library to pick up books. What will happen when Nora's parents find out? Here's a brief passage from the book. It was dark. I couldn't see anything, and Nora was making the ropes swing around so much that I could hardly get my feet in the ropes. Then I felt a cool breeze and a splash of water, and my head popped out into the storm. The boat towered above me, resting on a huge wooden frame that lifted it above the pointy roof. I think this book deserves the Adventure Time Award because it is a good book and it has lots of suspense. Also, it has 3 main characters, Brian, Nora, and a friend named Cosmo that they meet along the way. This book makes me feel adventurous because it is full of fantasy, and when I read it, I felt like I was in it.
Hello, my name is Tobi Pritchard-Wasse, and I would like to present the Inferno Award. Here's the criteria. It must be a graphic novel, it must be fiction, must have 1 or more scenes with large amounts of fire, and it must be 100 pages or more. Amrin Book 7, Firelight, is probably the book that has the most imaginative scenes that I've ever read. This book will please readers of all ages, even though it has 1 scene with blood and gore. This whole series spends a lot of time developing the plot and characters. Also, at the end of each book, there is a huge cliffhanger, and I feel really annoyed after I finish reading one book and I don't have the next. Kazuya Kobushi is my favorite author of all time. His other books like Copper and the rest of the Amulet series are highly recommended by me. This book deserves my medal because in one scene there's a giant explosion and there is a creature called the Firebird. This book is beyond amazing, and if you do not read this book, you are my enemy. No, but seriously, read this book. Just to give you a taste of the cliffhanger aspect of this book, I'll give you a quote. Get Emily and Trellis out of the void now! I cannot locate them. I don't care. Get them out now or they will die.
Hello, my name is Alma. I'm going to present the Bell Book Award to you. Here are the 3 criteria. It must be realistic fiction. It must involve characters. And it must be practical. The book I am awarding it to is called Raymie, Nightingale by Kate Camillo. Here is a passage from the book. There were 3 of them, 3 girls. They were standing side by side. They were standing at attention. It is about a girl named Raymie order to do it, she has to learn the twirl of the tongue. She meets two girls who sing true. It is a great book and meets all the criteria. I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Oscar, and my award is called the Warrior Cat Award. To earn the Warrior Cat Award, your book must include the following criteria: animals as main characters and/or supporting characters, adventures, protagonists, and protagonists. The Warrior Cat Award is going to Tallstar's Revenge by Aaron Hunter. Talcott, the main character of Tallstar's Revenge, is desperate to become a warrior for his career. When good, in order to become a warrior, he must first finish his warrior training, after which a big adventure awaits him. Passage from Tallstar's Revenge. Talcott already knew the legend of Shattered Ice. It was one of the first nursery stories Palebird had ever told him. Long ago, the moor was gripped by the worst beef bear the clan had ever known. There was no prey to be found. On the snow-drowned stretches of Hillary Hills. One of the Wind Clan's bravest warriors had gone into the rabbit warrens and dug deep beyond them in search for food for their clan. I think this book deserves the Warrior Cat Award because it is a fascinating story full of action and adventure.
Hi, my name is Raphael and I want to present to you my award, the International Spy Award for Junior Spies. I will also present to you the winner of this award, Spy Ski School by Stuart Gibbs. To win this award, you must have in your book Spies, Bad Guys, and Secret Missions. I'm going to read you a little bit about this book. It's about a boy named Ben who was recruited to the CIA. This is his fourth mission and he's on Operation Snow Bunny. I'm going to read you a paragraph about this book. It occurred to me a little too late that I dropped my guard in a very big way. Get your hands up, someone said from behind me. I knew that voice. I did exactly as he did, turning around to face my arch nemesis, Maria Hill. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dashiell, and I am proud to present this year's National Cartoon Humor Award to The Far Side by Gary Larson. A book that has won my award must follow the criteria below. Must have cartoons on every page, must be hilarious in every way, must be relatively dark, and must have no plot whatsoever. I chose the Far Side Gallery for this year's NCHA because its content matches my criteria perfectly. Its dark yet hilarious humor goes very well with its simple yet detailed cartoons. There are many collections of the Far Side, but I thought that this collection would be most fitting because there are many options and cartoons that Gary Larson, the creator of the Far Side, made throughout his career. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Hello, my name is Zaynab, and I am proud to present the Evening Sibling Award. This year, the Evening Sibling Award goes to Sisters by Raina Telji. To earn the Evening Sibling Award, the book must meet or match these criteria. It must have siblings as characters, illustration, humor, and it over to be 100 pages long. The book talks about a 14-year-old girl named Marna and her sister Amrin. Marna and her family will be going on a trip to Colorado for a family reunion. Marna's mother, sister, and brother will spend a week in the car to travel from California to Colorado. Their dad, on the other hand, will be taking a plane because he has work to do and something else that you will find out later on in the book. Now I am going to read you a very small excerpt of the book that I think shows how this book came to be. I wish I had someone to play with. Mom, Dad, what is it, honey? I want a sister. Sister, 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 sister. Should we tell her I don't know. What if it's a boy? We're not going to be having a baby. A girl? Well, we don't know until it gets here. It better be a girl. I like the fact that this book is nonfiction. I like this book because it is very funny, but often has genuine emotion. I relate to this book because I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, and like the book, we fight a lot, but at the end of the day, we all love each other. I honestly could read this book every single day and not get tired of it. It is my favorite book in the whole world, and I think this book should be read in the ages of 6 to 11 years old. Thank you.
My name is Julien, and my award is called Delta Awards. Delta Awards doesn't just go to any book. It goes to books that meet these 3 criteria. It has to be sad, has to include danger, and has to have details. This year's Delta Award goes to Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Neomie by Robert C. O'Brien. This book is very sad. It's about a family of rats who lost their father to a disease. Every year they have to move because their cottage is under a farmer's garden who rakes his garden every winter. One of the rats in the family, named Timothy, gets very sick and cannot get out of his bed. So in only 2 weeks, they have to find a way to move their entire house instead of moving and building another one in the woods. In the process, they encounter a lot of danger. The writer really describes the danger so well that you can feel it. I will now read an excerpt from the book. Mrs. Frisbee stared at all this, trying to make head or tail of it, but she could not. It was quite incomprehensible. She was still puzzling over it when the door opened and a rat came in. I enjoyed this book a lot because it really shows how important life is, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. If I were to rate this book, I would rate it 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend this book to all ages. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aditya, and the book I will present is called Mr. Carrot Falls Again by Whitney. I'm here today to give it the 2017 Diverse Award for Children's Literature. To obtain this award, books must be written for children and narrated by children. They must be told from different points of view and present very diverse characters. They should teach lessons about life and show how the characters collaborate with each other. The characters should inspire the reader and make them interested. To give you a sense of the story, I shall provide a brief summary of the book. This book is about a teacher called Mr. Tariff and his special bond with his 6th grade students. It takes place in Connecticut and shows how you can get through almost anything if you stick together. Mr. Tariff teaches them many things about life, and in most of the big projects he assigns, there are valuable morals to be learned. Now, to show you why I chose this book for the award, I shall quote a short passage from the story illustrating the strong bond between Mr. Tariff and his students. You're going to be all right, little buddy. I gotcha. I left my bike and walked the rest of the way to school, cradling the baby. He calmed down some, and so did I. But once I got to school, I got really scared again. I rushed to Tariff. As soon as he heard the crying, he looked up. I found him on the side of the road, I said. As you can see in this short passage, the student, Jeffrey, puts a lot of his trust in his teacher, Mr. Tariff. This happens throughout the book with each student. The students go to Mr. Tariff to face their problems. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope this encourages you to read my book.
Hi, my name is Julien. I'm going to be presenting the Bagba Bullet Children's Book Award. I chose the name Bullet because it is my dog's name. This year, the Bagba is going to be awarded to the story The Little Mole Who Went in Search of Who Done It by Wilmer Holdsworth and Wolf Elbridge. To receive this award, a book should meet or exceed the following criteria. It must be an illustrated book. It has to speak to a wide public. It must have been translated in at least 3 languages, including French and English. It has to be humoristic and original. The characters must be fictional and animal. The story about this is the story of a little mole who gets out one day and is welcomed to the surface by an animal poop. He is shocked by this lack of manners, and because he does not see well, it is difficult for him to understand what happened. This is a little phrase that I picked out of my book. It looked like a little sausage, and the worst thing about it was it had landed right on his head. Instead of going back to his hole to hide, for the rest of his life, the little mole starts an inquiry to discover who did such a thing. He will not rest until he gets justice. This book deserves the backbone because it is very funny, original, and well illustrated. Even though the book is about finding who pooped on the mole's head, it is important because it talks about finding justice and not stopping until we do. Even for a small, short-sighted little mole. It also raises the question of revenge and teaches not to jump to conclusion, but instead search for the truth. The book has been translated into many languages and read and enjoyed by all ages. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Roxie Sweet-Stevens, and I'm going to present the Roxie Mystery Book Award to Book 2 of the Nancy Drew series, The Hidden Staircase. In order to win this distinguished award, the award has to meet the following criteria. Should be a mystery book appropriate for ages 10 and up. The mystery should be solved by the end. Now I will read you a small passage from the book. I caught him sneaking around the edge of the grounds. Tom Patrick said, "Let me go," cried out the man angrily. "I'm no ghost." "What are you talking about?" the detective said. "You may not be the ghost," but the detective said, "but you could be the thief who has been robbing this house." It's about a girl detective who was asked by a friend to solve this strange mystery in her great-grandmother's haunted mansion. She encounters many distractions during the mystery, but she solves it at the end. I think the book deserves this award because there are actually 3 separate but related mysteries that are all solved by the end. It's appropriate for 10-year-olds and also adults like my aunt who read it and enjoyed it. Despite all the distractions, Nancy Drew solves all the mysteries. Thank you. Today I am presenting the Wylie's Classic Literature Award. To win this award, a book must be written before 1950, must be considered a classic, must be appropriate for ages 10 to adult, and must have not already won another award. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson wins my award this year. Treasure Island tells the story of a boy named Jim Hawkins who, along with a doctor, a cook, and a squire, seek Pirate Flint's long-hidden treasure. But first they need the map. The squire says to the doctor, "If we have the clue you talk about, I fit out a ship in Bristol Dock and take you and Hawkins here along, and I'll have that treasure if I search a year." The packet Jim takes from a drunk, dead person, oh my, is the clue they seek. Off they go in search of the treasure with lots of adventures along the way.
I decided to create my award because I had just read a great book called Treasure Island, which hadn't received any awards because when it was published in 1883, book awards were not commonly given. Treasure Island is definitely a classic. It is read and appreciated as much today as when it first appeared. It is an adventure story that appeals to young readers and adults alike. It definitely deserves my award, and my award definitely deserves the book. I wonder which book will win the award next year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kai. And I will be presenting the Challenge Awards to the book Wink, the Ninja Who Wanted to Be Noticed by J.C. Phillips. This book meets the criteria that I have placed for the Challenge Award. The criteria is that it has to talk of Japanese culture and has to talk about feelings too. It also has to have illustration and yeah. I enjoyed this book because it has a derivation of scrap art and is very well written, even though it's a short book. I think that it received this award because it it's about a boy named Wink who wants to be noticed, and he does lots of things that a ninja would usually not do, like, he tries to be stealthy, but he gets noticed, even though he does what he does in strange ways, and he always does silly things like getting in fights with pandas at the zoo, but he gets kicked from the ninja school because he's not paying attention. And then he comes across a boy who is at the circus, and there at the circus he performs a show as a masked person, and he finally gets noticed for who he is and his athletic purposes. Thank you very much for listening and paying attention.
Hi, my name is Donald, and I'll be presenting ISA, also known as the International Expense Book Award. To be eligible for this award, the book must be in English, it must be part of a series, it should introduce areas around the world, and it should include action, suspense, mystery to engage young readers' imagination. I give ISA awards to the 10th book of 39 Clues series, Into the Gauntlet by Margaret Peterson Haddix. The main characters are two siblings named Amy and Dan Cahill. They are part of an unusual family. In the 9 books, they discover that their family was part of many historical events. They all fought other relatives for an unknown treasure. In the 10th book, all the Cahills go to the Globe Theaters in London and fight over a note. Amy and Dan get most of the note. All the teams arrive at the home of the founder, Gideon Cahill, on an island. Each team gives Amy and Dan their clues because they found out that they had a bigger threat to fight against called the Vespers. My favorite sentence in the book was, "Truly Shakespeare has a lot in common with hip-hop artists."
I liked the series 39 Clues because they were filled with action, suspense, and mystery. To me, the 10th book was the most suspenseful, exciting, and revealing of them all.